Greetings and salutations, folks, and welcome to Control at last. Control is a game that I was very excited for. Remedy has made some of my favorite games of all time, whether it be Max Payne 1, 2, Alan Wake. I still enjoy Quantum Break, though I would say that after playing Quantum Break recently, it's a very, very heavy narrative experience. It doesn't have quite as much gameplay to narrative that I would have liked. I feel that Quantum Break provides an excellent foundation, but without a sequel, it's just kind of like the start of a story. And that's the main reason why I wanted to play through that game first, which I did on this channel, before jumping into this one. Let's mute copyrighted music, which is very kind of Remedy for even including that feature. What's interesting about Control, let's see, subtitles, toss those on, is it's a game in which I follow Remedy on Twitter. I follow their Control Twitter feed as well, and I've seen a lot of screenshots of this game. And I still am not entirely sure what's going on. I'm guessing you have one gun, and then you upgrade the gun in different directions. Or like it's a Judge Dredd-esque gun, and you just kind of convert it to how you need it used. I know there are superpowers. You, at the very least, telekinesis to some degree. I know that it stars Courtney Hope, who played as Beth Wilder in... I believe she played as Beth Wilder in Quantum Break. But there are a lot of amazing, just random screenshots people have been posting of the game. So at the very least, now I can finally get into it, find out what it's all about. At least before the DLC comes out earlier next year. Let's see. Common options. I'm just gonna keep the brightness as is. Blah, 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 text language, audio language. Movement is critical to avoiding damage in combat. Standing still in combat is not advisable. Wow. Thanks. I was planning to just stand still and... Although, to be fair, you could argue that there are certain aspects of a first-person shooter, third-person shooter gameplay where the idea of lining up the shot and moving at the same time can be very tricky.
This is gonna be weirder than usual.
That's good.
Can't be helped.
Okay.
You called me. So here I am.
I'm told that the opening for this game is really, really strong.
I shut you out sometimes. I'm always glad to hear from you. It's just that I get my hopes up. So many times it's led to nothing. I found nothing. It's like we live in a room. And there's a poster on the wall. We stare at it. And
the FBC.
That's the whole world. The room. And the poster. The picture's something nice. A landscape, a famous person. Like in that movie. What is it called?
That would be the Shawshank Redemption.
The room's a cell, and the picture, it's different for each of us. It can be beautiful or terrible, but we're all transfixed. But it's all a lie. Something to distract us from the truth. They're lying to us. We're lying to ourselves. The room's not the world. The world is much bigger and much stranger.
Okay,
There's a
I'm already
hole
detecting
hidden
like
behind
some
that
multiple
poster that
levels of
leads to the
reality.
real world.
Also, that was a nice like
We all
upside
feel
down view
safe in
first
that
to start
world.
off.
But sometimes something crawls out from behind the poster. And the ones that see it happen freak out and try to forget what they saw.
That would be an interesting twist to Shawshank
I'm
Redemption.
here.
But it would still make sense considering
Why
it's a
did you
Stephen
bring
King
me
story.
here? Hello? Anyone here?
Hmm. Do I want to keep the... I'll keep the motion blur and the film grain. Because... just to kind of maintain the visuals. If it gets bothersome, I'll probably turn it off. Interesting, choice of photography. We're gonna take a photo of him facing away from the camera. Also, it's right next to the water dispenser, but there are no cups. What's the line from, there's a line from, Tex Murphy. I want to say it's from the Pandora Directive, where Tex goes, this is the water cooler in my office is indispensable. I've run out of paper cups. Let's see. We got very, very nicely detailed stuff. Like, I remember back when Rage came out, like, Rage was supposed to be all the rage in regards to id Tech, but then you look at a phone, and the phone is just, like, a flat, like, decal pasted onto it. But this... there's a lot of... oh, and you can also kind of see the physics engine at work too, which will come more to play the farther I get. What did I get? Reminder: certain objects are not allowed in the bureau. The bureau, not the bureau. Recent incidents have necessitated an issued reminder on the prohibited materials, unauthorized weapons, pagers, laptop, smart watches, smartphones, smart gaming devices, anything smart. Number 2, pencils. Any objects considered iconic representations of an archetypal concept, e.g. rubber ducks, ketchup bottles. All material under Bureau investigation is to be brought in through the private entrances. If you see any lobby personnel in breach of these policies, please notify your supervisor immediately. Any iconic representations? Okay. What does that mean? Where is everybody, by the way? It seems that this place is a little bit understaffed. Oh, hello.
This seal. I saw it a long time ago. I keep seeing it in my dreams.
That sounds like a bad thing. Major staffing surveillance, redacted. Data center initiative, construction, redacted. Minor expenditures, office equipment, janitorial costs, redacted. Mold removal, HQ livability costs. By order of Director Zachariah Trench. Hold on. Does this have a save function? Ooh. Also, a photo mode was just recently released. Pretty much dates this video. And I believe this here is Mr. Sam Lake himself. No, not Sam Lake, sorry. This is the voice of Max Payne. I forget his name. Jeffrey something, I want to say. Our Bureau at Work. Head of Research, Dr. Casper Darling. What do we have here? We have Game Magazine. Would you like to play a game about secret agents? I mean, I guess technically right now we're playing a game about secret agents. Do I go to the right or to the left? Also, it's kind of odd that doors open at such a long distance. I wonder if that's more like that's just a feature of the company.
Federal Bureau of Control. All these years I've been looking for them, and they were hiding in plain sight.
Can I crouch? Hold on. Is there a crouch button? I don't seem to see one. Okay. Also, there's glass in the way, so that might affect my attempt to break in. Redacted, a shark in his redacted, although secure redacted, permission to redacted following basic protocol redacted. Shoot to kill redacted. Good luck. So there's a shark somewhere. A shark somewhere that a shark should not be. I wonder if that'll explain exactly where everybody is, though. Hello, as you should all know by now, the R4 reports are due by the end of the week. We're still waiting on them from a number of people. If you need an extension, please request form R4.E from your supervisor. If you think you're exempt from filing an R4, then you'll need to get written permission from your department chief saying so. Remember, R4s are mandatory under Section 75.2 of the Employee Manual. If your R4 requires interdepartmental claims, then please contact the appropriate department head, Dr. Darling, Miss Marshall, Mr. Salvador, or Mr. Kirkland, as needed. They'll be busy on Thursday in their annual policy review, so please schedule accordingly. And then if you can come in on Monday, that'll be great. Is there an entrance into this room?
Hello?
Also, I can't help but notice that they've got blinds on the insides of their offices, which presents the idea that people at work are not meant to be seen.
Hey, excuse me.
There you are. You are here about the job. Janitor's assistant. You need to go to the interview. Go that way to the elevator.
Thanks. Elevator that way. Got it.
Very good. I'm Ahti, the janitor, by the way. You'll work for me. You can say I sent you. If they don't hire you, niin johan helvet. There be work for the axe. Take them behind the sauna, jumalauta.
Right.
Done enough night shift loner jobs to know it makes us come off weird. Ahti the janitor is a friendly face in my book.
Better than somebody with no face at all.
Is there a way into this room?
Think about it. No face.
I saw a man. He had no face. He had somehow taken his face. Oh, his face. Oh, how was that even possible? Did I just circle around? I think I did. Okay. Also, Is that why I'm here? Is this normal functioning?
And the poster. I was 11 years old the first time I saw behind the poster. They told me I imagined it. I've been trying to pull it down ever since. Will you help?
So she's seen the other side, and that's what's pursued her to find the Federal Bureau of Control. Kind of, I suppose that makes her similar to there's the I forget her name right now, the female lead from the new Men in Black remake, because it's like she had seen aliens when she was a kid, and then spent her entire life trying to find, to peer behind the veil, and in that process discovered the Men in Black. Okay. I'm not entirely sure what's going on, but it looks like it's building up to something awesome. So, and that's that's the reason why I wanted to play Quantum Break first, before playing Control. Oh, and also that's a nice elevator door opening.
There for a moment. You know what's on my mind. My baby brother, Dylan.
Also, who's she talking
17
to?
years since the men of this bureau took him.
Yeah, because this is essentially like a... Wow, that's some vending machine, actually. Would you like to buy some protein? Alright, so what was... Men in Black. So yeah, it has that kind of similar start to it, except I'm guessing in this case it's going to be both weirder and darker. Huh, I need to upgrade my clearance level. Building lockdown in effect. Multiple containment breaches detected. Multiple building shifts detected. Oh yeah, that's what I wanted to mention, is some of those map shiftings reminded me of the book House of Leaves. Reminder, drafting any public-facing material while penning any notifications of death related to the Willow Awe. Please adhere to the following guidelines. Words, phrase to use in the service of his or her country. Regret, proud/pride will be remembered. Words, phrases to avoid. Alaska, scissors, blood, bleed, loss, apologies, sorry. Like some of this, like some of these secondary material, almost for a second I thought that coffee machine was floating. Kind of reminds me of like Welcome to Night Vale. Like today's top story in traffic. Words to use. I'm sorry. In service of your country. Words not to use. Alaska. Scissors. Greetings, sir. A lot of really high definition, like photographs of people, like paintings of people. I guess they're not really. They don't really seem like paintings. They just seem too detailed to be paintings. Like that's a painting, though. Barbara, I'm not to be disturbed. Cancel all my appointments for the day. For the rest of the week, I can't trust them, Barbara. Not a single one. Oh. Ah, this is when he shoots himself. And then the problems begin.
Shit. Shit.
There's a map?
You want me to pick it up? The murder weapon? Really?
Who is she? Okay. Now I suppose I can talk about Beyond Two Souls. Like, what if alternatively, Deadly Premonition. But I'm going to talk about Beyond Two Souls because it was more problematic for that game. Whereas in Deadly Premonition, it's a feature.
Was coming here a mistake?
It wasn't a mistake, but it's definitely dangerous. Like, in Beyond Two Souls, you're playing as this character who communicates with this ghost that's attached to her body. The gun's sword intentionally left blank.
And there goes the poster.
Objects of power can cause or be results of AWE's altered world events, intrusions upon the perceived reality. Now, the service weapon is, of course, a prime example of an OOP, a very powerful one. Ingrained in the Bureau's DNA, a key component in our prime candidate program. Come out of that Russian roulette a winner and you're it.
Only the director can bind the service weapon and live or die. This is your ritual challenge. You must choose to be the chosen one.
Where am I?
Huh. So, like, it presents the idea that the weapon chooses its owner, much like Harry Potter's wand chooses the wizard. All and none of the above. I'm gonna get back to this not murdered soul suspect. These are concepts, tattoos we've seen in our mind. The service weapon. It has many forms, like the house, prison you occupy. I'm gonna get back to the Beyond Two Souls thing in a bit, or at least I hope I will. Okay, I'll go back to it right now. So, like, she can communicate with this alternate soul character, and you always know that character is there because you play as the soul. You play as the soul that's tethered to the main character. That is amazing. I already like this melee. So you play but you already always know they're there. As opposed to, say, control the gun / house. Choose to be chosen. So basically like the gun itself isn't just a tool, it is something that she's supposed to... Ooh, and it reloads itself. That's interesting. Instead of like a game that like most, like a first-person shooter would generally have you wait for your health to come back. In this case, you wait for your ammo to come back, which I guess places it closer to Mass Effect 1, like Mass Effect 1's heat system. But anyway, in Deadly Premonition, you're always talking to this secondary person who's... I guess it's... I forget exactly what Zack is versus to Morgan. Like, he's this kind of like other... not like other self that's tethered... that, like, oh no. Zack is the original. Morgan is the other self occupying Zack's body. But you don't really get that mystery solved until like closer to the end of the game. Like, until then, it's always Morgan York saying, "Zack, do you remember that movie we saw 30 years ago? Collect enemies, drop health elements. We wield the gun, you. The board appoints you. Congratulations, director."
Something's coming. This threat. An attack. Duty as director. Keep the Bureau safe.
Oh, never mind. That's the guy who plays as Max Payne.
That? It's the dead
He's the voice of Trench.
right after the pyramid spoke to me, and it was just noise, and I understood every word. And this gun's alive. You know what? I'm happy. Happy to be here.
You know, it's not every day you get to run around and shoot at
Things
bad
are
guys
broken
with a
down
living
outside.
weapon.
Is it safe to go?
Also, the possession of a living weapon sounds like it belongs closer to like a Devil May Cry-esque game. Like that kind of thing. Is it safe to go? Probably not. Have I finished my entire point about the narrator that she's speaking to? Kind of, sort of. I guess it makes me feel as though this person that she's speaking to has a similar embodiment to Zack, or like there's someplace in between Zack and the Beyond Two Souls tethered twin, but the desire to keep things a mystery. Oh. So this is, I think this is the basic telekinesis that I saw. Okay.
You can't let this happen. You can't let this happen. You can't
Ooh, live action footage too.
let this happen. You can't 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 let this happen. You stopped it. You. Oh, thank you. That was horror.
Huh. So I guess there's the idea that she's being protected by that. The Bureau has many internal security personnel. The Hiss was quick to take advantage of that fact. Hiss guards use the standard issue bullpup rifles they carried prior to corruption, while the armored guards carry pump-action shotguns. They have no observed paranatural abilities, with the exception that certain Hiss guards are protected by a shielding of dense Hiss resonance. Does the Hiss mature in organic hosts over time? More data is needed. Refer to file redacted. So much is expected from the director. The responsibility. The privilege. Okay, we got a description of the service weapon. When bound, the object allows paratilitarans to redact. This object must be bound by individuals seeking the role of redacted, although we know that actually is the role of director. The object will determine whether they're worthy. If rejected, the applicant is terminated. The process is dictated by the... The object was discovered inside the oldest house in the room that is now used as the director's office. The popular hypothesis, redacted many forms throughout history. Redacted. Mjolnir, Excalibur, Varunastra, all weapons that redacted of their wielders. If objects of power are the convergence of forces based on the collective subconscious, then this may be the original manifestation of that event. If this is the case, redacted. See Dr. Darling presentation 11.1 for more details. All right. Oh.
Objects of power can cause or be results of AWE's altered world events, intrusions upon the perceived reality. A side note, remember to cover their connection to the astral plane as well. Now, the service weapon is, of course, a prime example of an OOP, a very powerful one. Ingrained in the Bureau's DNA, a key component in our prime candidate program. Come out of that Russian roulette a winner and you're it. Lose and you're, well, Thank you. I'm Dr. Darling, Head of Research, Federal Bureau of Control.
Okay. And also in the process of that, so the voice the voice actor and the actor himself of Dr. Casper Darling is the voice of Alan Wake. That makes a lot of sense. It's interesting to see all these it's always interesting to see actors who all work with similar teams again and again. Let's see. Weapon forms. Low health boost. Damage while low on health. Alright, sure, why not? And health boost. Okay. But, like, this is another project where, like, Courtney Hope played as different characters. Like, she doesn't really have to be... The portrait changed. Now it no longer shows Trench, it shows Courtney. Was there a portrait in this office? There was not. Let's keep an eye out, see whether this secondary information... Also, like, just the running around and movement in this game is awesome. Huh. Exactly, like here. Director Jesse Faden. Jesse's interaction with the gun has changed the perceived reality around her. Which then raises the question, how much of this is the real life and how much of this is fantasy?
Hotline. Secure line of communication. Guidance. Reach the hotline.
The hotline, says the dead man. Okay.
Oh, hello. Alright, that was a waste of ammo. But I just wanted to run and gun. Because it is actually a lot of fun to do so. Oh, hello. Who else is shooting at me? Oh, they're beyond that. Rising costs, update on mold eradication efforts, new supplier of coffee filters to be found and vetted. Very important. Alright. Undefined. You do not have the clearance level to... Interesting. Excuse me. Excuse me. Alright, let's see what's going on in here. Marshall, we checked out the suspected in Duluth. Wasn't anything, just like the house fire before this, and the malfunctioning clothes dryer before that. My team is getting pretty sick of duds. We need to find a better way to sort the fake awes from the real things. Or you need to rotate these field agents off for a bit. Anyway, we're en route to Sherman Ranch, next one on the list. Let's hope it's a little livelier there. I'm guessing they did arrive at Sherman Ranch, and it was livelier there. Okay. That is a personal mod. Health recovery upon element pickup. I don't know what the deconstructing... Let's deconstruct it, just to see what it does. Because I don't think I'm going to use this one. Okay, so that fills up the gauge at the top right. But I don't think I have the means to modify anything just yet. Let's shoot some stuff. Because shooting things is great in this game. And I have infinite ammo. Dinner reservations at 7 p.m. at Chez Ambre. Wife will meet you there. Don't be late. Flowers are ready for you at lobby reception. Remember, she is turning 46. So basically, you got these people at identical desks who, okay. This game is definitely special. Who are just locked at their desks for so long.
Reminder, if you experience an unanticipated building shift, follow these simple steps. 1. Search the room for any altered items or objects of power. 2. Carry the altered item or object of power to the nearest safe room. 3. Wait for Bureau staff to find you and the object. If there are no altered items or objects of power in the vicinity, then reach your supervisor via the nearest intercom and await further instructions. Thank you for your attention. Reminder, if you experience an unanticipated building shift, follow the items or objects. 2. Carry the altered item or object of power.
Yeah, walking through doors is for suckers. Can I blow up this toilet? I can definitely ruin the doors. Okay. You know, to believe I was even showing up for the purposes of attempting to get a janitor job, like, in retrospect, maybe I was the wrong person. But clearly things have gone very... I especially enjoyed giant block letters.
That tried to invade me earlier.
The hiss.
Burrowing into everything in this place. Is the hiss your enemy? Alright, it's our enemy.
Okay, she speaks and then the screen fluctuates. So I wonder if that is the thing that she's speaking to. Oh, that's a radio. Radio's got copyrighted music on it. That's why it's not playing. Hold on. I'm guessing I'm going towards that pyramid. Urban legends are believed to affect the creation of altered materials, but can also dictate the characteristics of an altered world event. Urban legends are understood as the modern evolution of Jung's archetypes, Carl Jung. We recognize certain redacted, informed by our own redacted and popularized by our media. We have additionally proven that urban legends could even be artificially modified in popular culture using Redacted, our bureau-made anthology television program. Is it Night Springs? Once the seeds are sown, human imagination exacerbates the details. certain paranatural phenomena contain clear elements of popularized folklore, AWEs that only occur on Redacted, a pair of scissors that consume human Redacted through 2 punctures on the Redacted. These details, living in the minds of so many, have been given strength through belief. Urban legends are not just stories for children, they're paranatural realities waiting to happen, which then gives the idea that that's a very Stephen King-esque thing. That's like in the one of the lines that's used in It Chapter 2 is how does it go? This kills monsters if you believe it does. We'll get back to that in a second. How to handle unscheduled visitors entering the lobby. Start with the following. Welcome to the Federal Bureau of Control, established in 1964 as part of an effort to strengthen government relations. We are proud to serve the United States and our people as we strive for transparency and excellence in all aspects of our esteemed nation's infrastructure. If they do not leave, then ask them these questions. Are you here to see someone? Are you from New York City or just visiting? How did you find this place? If their answers are sufficiently harmless, explain that this is a secure federal office and that they'll need to leave. If their answers seem redacted, escort them to a private room, then perform the Gunnar's psychological assessment. If their responses are within acceptable range of deviance, see the provided scoring sheet, then redact it immediately. There's no such thing as too suspicious. So, like, the idea that, like, these objects, like, the urban legends have been built up so strong that the objects themselves have gained power. That's why you're not allowed to bring scissors into the building. Because they themselves have been granted too much power. Hello. Ranger, second class, Pulaski. What? Who brought you onto this kind of detail? Yeah, take that. Ah, this is a boss character, I think. But he's dead.
Must cleanse control points. An enemy. Corrupt. Spreading.
Cleanse the control point. What does that mean? Help me fix it.
Yeah, that's like that strange kind of like blue aura that kind of surrounds her. Oh. And is that restoring the perceived reality?
Holy shit. You did it. We did it.
Hello? Can you hear me? Are you with us?
Pope.
The Bureau. Are you still sane?
Ooh. Outfits. We've got civilian. Urban response.
Please, talk to me.
Kind of like civilian more.
Saw you deal with the compromised agents.
Now, where is the safe room?
Is it safe to come out?
There's the boardroom. It's the safe room's probably on the northern part of the building, if I had to guess. Undefined reading material. Kind of odd that it gives you reading material that you can't actually read until later on. Ooh, more stuff. House memory. And I don't have the clearance for that. Energy recovery speed. I wonder if that's specifically to recover ammo for your gun. Which definitely seems like it would be useful. Oh, hold on. Nope, I cannot punch. I'm in a safe area. The game recognizes this area as being safe. Oh, hold on. Black and white photo. We've got Trench there with unknown man. So not all of the photos have been modified to include Jesse Faden. But clearly some of them have. Listen, I know you can't control building shifts, but the executive level restroom has been missing for weeks now. I worked my ass off in the Islamabad station. For 3 years, I've earned the right to a nice workplace shitter. If you can't bring it back, at least find out where it went. It is interesting that like the story is also kind of considering like some of the odder facility changes that might happen. I'm going to switch to this one because I'd rather have something that's more consistent rather than something that occurs when I'm low on health, because I don't want to be low on health. Like, that's something I'm going to generally avoid. The oldest house imposes certain limitations on our bureau, but by far the most restrictive is the inability to use certain technological instruments. The oldest house does not allow devices that receive or emit any redacted signal. Radio waves are the only transmittable signals in the oldest house, and even those are often unreliable. It is the power of collective unconsciousness. If the power of collective unconsciousness is taken into account, it could be that certain pieces of technology are too new in the cultural redacted for the oldest house to redact them. Similarly, these items have not been known to become receptacles for altered status. Technology may be moving at a too fast of a pace for the redacted to occur. Okay, so if objects of power become of power because enough people believe in them, like they don't tech has moved at such a brisk pace, nothing gains power anymore. Modern technology tends to disappear and break here, sometimes quite violently. Redacted agents have been injured by cell phones exploding in their pockets while entering the oldest house. Huh. That sounds like a bad thing. And I have no idea where this safe is that I'm supposed to be looking for. This safe is clearly very safe, considering I got a house memory. Oh? Nope, I just circled around. Okay, so I did a complete circle around the level geometry, which not particularly expected, although it doesn't really seem that this map is necessarily that large. And there's still a lot more stuff that I could look at upstairs, downstairs, and maybe a little bit. What are those murmurs? Okay, I think that's where I came from. What is the deal with these floating people? So they're in a safe room. Oh. Okay. This is... not expected. Huh. Why do they have a jukebox inside a sealed container? Does the jukebox itself, is that considered an object of power because of, like, it's old technology? Okay, there's the shelter. Oh, yep. And there's the, spirit waypoint.
I can't tell you how happy I am to talk to somebody sane.
Oh, you make an assumption
I'm Pope,
real quick, like...
Emily Pope, Dr. Darling's assistant.
My turn. Should I lie? Jesse Faden. I'm just visiting. I should have lied.
Shit. You're the new director. Hold on.
Ah, they already know. Oh, hello. How goes it?
Director Faden.
Call me Jesse.
Okay, Jesse. I'm Emily.
What is she wearing? Is it kind of like how in Quantum Break they have the suits that protect them from the stutters, like this protects them from the hiss?
Somehow the hiss managed to infiltrate the building without any warning.
And just like that, my name for it is official. The hiss. Like the sound of poison.
Ah,
gas.
it's because she knew the name of the hiss
Full lockdown.
before
It
somebody
spread
told her.
everywhere and to everyone not protected by an HRA. And, extraordinarily, you. You are the director, and that makes you special by definition. Trench is no longer the director, obviously.
Well, obviously, duh. I
Too
mean,
much. This whole situation is
he's
just
dead and all that.
a lot.
Trench is dead. Shot.
Ah,
I found his body. And the gun. Do I tell her it looked like a suicide?
the service weapon.
Also,
I'm sure she already knows
and this
this.
can sound crazy, but he keeps appearing to me, saying things. It's hard to make out, but he told me to cleanse the control point, push the hiss out. The whole room shifted around.
You did that? And you entered the building when it was already in the lockdown before you became the new director?
Ooh,
How?
that is an important.
I'm not ready.
Like,
to
how
talk
did she
about
get
it
into the
yet.
building?
A janitor let me in.
Oh yeah.
I love it. This is fucking unbelievable. I can't even. Look, Jesse, I have a million questions, and you probably have a million more.
Like, do you know my brother Dylan? Not yet.
But there's something I need to ask.
I like
you
those internal
first.
monologues. It kind of like
If
keeps
you cleanse a control point,
it keeps the internal
you can
character
be cured
motivations
those infected
up
or
front. Because I think like
possessed by
if
the hiss.
like
Because
if you didn't
that's
have that
possible,
every so often, you'd be like,
our
okay,
options
oh,
are
who is Dylan
very
again?
Different.
Emily Pope. I don't know her, but I like her already. She's the opposite of the faceless agency I've blamed for what happened to me for so long.
Well, for one, she has a face.
Or rather, the bureau. She's a...
Also,
Yes,
is she just having uncomfortably long silences?
I'm speaking for you, of course. We can try it together. Okay. You with me? We did it before. Push the hiss out.
Cleanse the hiss corrupted agent. control points are locations that the Bureau has identified as being vital junctions of the oldest house. When the appropriate harmonization devices are arranged around the control point in the redacted arrangement, the surrounding area will not experience any unforeseen building shifts. These control points are discovered by redacted detection of an unobstructed ping using the redacted within our 37-foot radius. Numerous researchers have attempted to define control points, calling them nerve junctures, or redacted, or vulnerable spots of the oldest house. The common factor in these theories is that control points are susceptible to external influence, which allows us to stabilize the oldest house and work more confidently inside it. Theoretically, this technology could be extrapolated to stabilize the oldest house as a whole, but testing has found that certain parts of the building refuse to be redacted. So, it seems though the title of the game kind of takes on multiple roles. You're taking control over the facility by taking over control points, but also, like, the control is based around maintaining reality, control over reality itself. Did I save her? Was it enough? And
It didn't work. The hiss has burrowed too deep.
Hiss corrupted agent. The most common and least intense form is seen in many corrupt agents floating throughout the Bureau, have maintained their human appearance, undergoing no obvious physical transformation. The most notable distinction is from unaffected human is that they levitate. These hiss have displayed no aggressive behavior. They only seem interested in vocalizing the strange incantation ad infinitum. Perhaps these vessels are only meant to propagate the hiss corruption, like spores or Wi-Fi boosters. Or are they cocoons, preparing to enter their next stage of evolution? When attacked, hiss agents disappear, perhaps entering a state of invisibility or undergoing a transformation into a purely resonant form. Okay, so did they disappear or did they go elsewhere?
Jesse, over here.
I'm here.
I can't cleanse them.
I saw. It was worth a shot.
I was watching.
Jesse.
I'm gonna tell her why I'm here. I'll risk it.
Listen, the Bureau was involved in an incident in my hometown, Ordinary, 17 years ago. The Bureau came in and covered the whole thing up. I've been
Yes, this is normal.
for a long time.
That's enough. Maybe that's too much already. I can't tell her about Dylan and the rest yet.
I've seen mentions of an Altered World event case dealing with Ordinary. You were at Ground Zero as a child? It was one of the big ones, and before my time. And very classified. I can try to dig out some old files for you. My boss, Casper Darling, would know, but he's missing. I think he knew this was coming, or suspected. He came up with the HRAs, the Hadron Resonance Amplifiers. I think they're what saved us. Or a few of us. And
Clearly not enough.
No.
Trench,
Is
The-
dead.
ghost, or whatever he is, he mentioned something called the hotline. Said I should find it.
It's another object of power, like the gun, an old Bakelite telephone. A direct line of communication between the director and the board.
Oh.
He can talk to you more clearly through that. I mean, Trench has years and years of experience. He might know how to destroy the hiss.
Where is the hotline?
It's kept in the communications department through the mailroom. It's part of this sector, so we can access it even with the lockdown in place. We'll
Do
get
I
the door
have the
open.
clearance, though? Okay.
That's my next stop.
That's Tomasi's department. He's head of communications. I don't think he had an HRA. He kind of made a point about not wearing one earlier. Keep an eye out.
So he's probably going to try to kill me.
They
Got
call me
it.
the director. But that's not me. I'm not a director type. I'm not a leader. Why am I here? I think you already know. Yes, I came for my brother, but there are other reasons too. I said I was looking for answers, but I might never understand them. I'm not looking for proof. This is already it. More than enough. No matter what they told me all those years, I know it's real now. I didn't imagine this. I want to
I like
be
the
part of
the
this
visual is
world.
amazing.
What scares me shitless is that I finally found it. Only to see the hiss destroy it all.
Is that the hotline? Is that my goal? Or am I already here?
Look, I know this is all new to you, so don't hesitate to ask me anything you want to know. There are no stupid questions. The door to the comms department is just outside the boardroom back in the lobby. They should have gotten it open by now. Follow the signs to the mailroom. You can get to the hotline containment chamber through there. Good luck, Jesse. See you back here once you have the hotline.
Thank you for watching. Questions, comments, recommendations for something to play next? Comment down below or send it on over to itsoundedgoodonpaper@gmail.com. That's itsoundedgoodonpaper@gmail.com. So long for now.